there, people. Hello, it is Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today with project number 4 from Bargain Bead Box. Let's take a look, see here. Yes, project number 4. Project number 4 are manifestation bracelets. One is for anxiety, one is for manifesting. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So this is going to be a knotting project. I can't find my other tweezer. I don't know where it went. So I will be using the backup tweezer, which is the shovel, because I can't find the other one. I've looked upstairs, downstairs, all around stairs. Can't find it. So any hootie, we're going to be using this guy. So let's pop down to the mat, get this part started. All right, so here we are on the mat. Now, I vaguely remember, oh, you guys, my memory is so bad. I vaguely remember picking charms for each of these and the stones. So we're going to make 2, it looks like. 2 manifestation bracelets. I've already picked charms for them. We're going to use some teal Ceylon and an Old Faithful clasp and charms from the stash. It's a lot of things. All right, so let's get this party started. So let's see what I have put together for me. Looks like here is beads and charms. And here is beads and charms. Okay, so I've already separated them. Thank goodness. We shall start with this one. This one is for anxiety. This one is for manifesting. All right, cool. So we'll start here with this one. So it looks like I have picked out my beads. I got the red jasper, and I have the what are they calling these? Aquaterra stones. Aquaterra jasper. Okay. So I have those. I feel like we've seen those in another box as well. I can't remember which one. And I have my little charms. Okay, so first and foremost, before we get going on this, we're going to get our charms ready. So this one, I'm not worried about this one. He'll go on there the right way. This one has a jump ring, so no problems there. This one needs a jump ring. These two need to be wound up, and this one needs a jump ring. Alrighty. It looks like I'm kind of doing a bronzy situation. Oh, I'm gonna have to go get some. I'm gonna have to go get an Old Faithful clasp. I don't know if I have one down here. So that's a thing, but we'll worry about that later. Bronze, 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 where are you? I got Tinky Tots. I don't know that I really want Tinky Tots. I mean, they'll work, but they're not really my favorite. Here we go. Those are round. Those are round. Here's some ovals. Okay. Get a few ovals out. And I'm just literally going to put on a few jump rings before we get rocking and rolling here. This is my double happiness one. This is my love, loyalty, and friendship one. This is the I am strong one. this one, I could take this one off, but I'm just going to add another. This one will be kind of long, but that's fine. This one's ready to go. And then these two need a little wire wrap. I'm just going to grab up a couple head pins here. And we will get our things ready to go. It's cute. I'm going to put one of these little lapises on the top. For fun. Just for fun. Alright, so I'm just going to create a wire wrap loop here. I am going to also attach this one with a jump ring, just so it has a little more movement for my bracelet. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, he's wrapped up. Needs a little jumper. I need two actually. So you could use any charms or anything really that you want from your stash for this, which is kind of fun because I feel like we always kind of have some little extra things left over, and you know, it's not, it doesn't have to be cohesive. They don't have to be the same color. It doesn't have to be making any sense to anybody but you, okay? So that's one of my favorite things. I've got a little abalone shell. So I always like to get all my pendants and charms and things ready before I get going on anything. It's just how I like to do it, I guess. Some people like to do it as they go along, and I just like to do it this way. And, oh, I gotta put our jumper on there. My grandma calls these jumpers, and I was just talking to her, so for some reason that's in my brain. All right, now we need our clasp, right? I do want to start with the clasp. So I am going to run, actually I might just look in the stash over here and see if I can grab one up out of inventory. Hold on a second. Okie doke. Let's get this party started. So these are some leftover pieces that I had from a necklace that I made at some point in time. So these already have needles on them. So if you didn't know, this is 0.5 millimeter Ceylon. We do sell it on the website and in our sales a lot. It looks like, comes in a roll like this. Okay. So this is the 0.5. This is the one that I always use. This is the size that pretty much basically all of mine are. And to do this, you just take a little bit of Loctite super glue. You put it on a piece of plastic. You just run this through your glue like that. Wait for it to dry, and you will have this. Easy peasy. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cut this at an angle. So that it has like a sharp point to imitate a needle. Okay. Alrighty. So first things first, am I going to connect directly onto the this guy here? Which honestly, I could do that. I could also do it with a jump ring. It's really up to you. I think I will connect with a jump ring just because should I have any issues, I'll be able to remove it and just reconnect without having to do anything crazy. I'm going to use these larger ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this jump ring on down here at the end, and I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. Now a lot of you have seen me do this a number of times before. Let me put this here. So again, we have our jump ring. We're going to tie a knot. We're going to wrap around these couple fingers, and right here we're going to bring the tail through once and twice. And we're going to pull it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're going to do it again. Okay. 1, 2, and pull it. Okay, that's all you got to do. We're just going to leave this on there for the time being. We'll deal with that later on. And we are going to come over here. So now, basically what this little jump ring is going to do is he's going to connect to our binding. You don't have to do this right now. You can do it whenever you want. You just put him on there like that. There you go. Oh, make sure he's closed up. Okay. We're ready to rock. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my first bead. Whatever you want your first bead to be, you pick your first bead and bring it down here. Okay. Now here's the thing you can do if you want, if you like to have your tail go through the end of the bead. Okay, you can stick this guy in there as well. Okay, bring him up like this. Now we're just going to pretend like this is one piece of cording. We're just going to pretend like this is one piece. That's all you're going to do. You make sure there isn't no loop-de-loos in it. Okay, and here's what you're going to do. You're doing the same thing we did. Wrap it around the fingers. Bring it through. Now you're going to want to make sure that these two are staying together right, you know, acting as one. And you're going to bring them together like that once. That one did not, hold on. That one did not go as planned. Okay. 1 and 2. Okay, making sure that they're staying together. We're going to then take our tweezer. We're going to put this in through the loop that we have created. You're going to grab a hold of the base string here. Now, wherever you put your ply or your tweezer is where your knot is going to go. So once you have it, you're going to grab a hold of both the tails at this particular juncture and pull it up like that. Okay, straight up towards the camera, not out, straight up. Okay, you're going to have to use a little bit of force. Then you're going to remove the tweezer. Okay, put it down. Then we're going to take the tweezer. We're going to grab hold of these tails, put this loosely above the knot. You're going to pull the tails up towards the camera and push this down towards the mat. Okay? 1, 2, 3 at the same time, pushing the knot into place. Then you're going to push this bead up a little bit to lock your knot in. Okay? And there's your knot. Now at this point, you do not have to do any more with the tail. You can go ahead and trim the tail off. Now if you wanted to put a piece of glue, do a little glue on there, whatever it is you want to do, perfectly fine. But at this point, you can just take that off. No need to worry. Now we're going to do our next bead. Okay, so I think for the next bead, I will do one of these little jaspers. Do I want to do one or two, or what do I want to do here? Maybe I'll start with my charms. Okay, so I'll do a jasper, and I'll squish it up with a charm. Let's see how this one looks on there. That's pretty cute. Let me do another jasper. Okay, so that's what we're looking like. I keep putting this here if you're new so that my camera will focus, because sometimes it's a pain in the butt. Alright, so this is what I got going on. One jasper, one charm, one jasper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, take this one piece of string. I'm going to create a knot by wrapping around. I'm going to go 1 and 2. Then I'm going to bring my tweezer, go through the loop, grab a hold of the base cord right above the bead, or wherever you want the knot to be. I want mine to be right above the bead. Okay, now here's something important. Your knot needs to be over here on the tweezer. It cannot be over here. It needs to be on the tweezer. Okay, like so. Okay, so now again I'm going to pull this straight up towards the camera. This is what it looks like. It's not going to be super tight. You still have your tweezer in there. Okay, you're going to take the tweezer out, put it down. Why is this important? It is important because if you have slack, when you put it down, you're going to be able to see it. Okay, so then you're going to take your tweezer, you're going to put it lightly above on the string, lightly holding it with light pressure. You're going to pull this up towards the camera and push your tweezer down towards the mat. You're going to lock that into place with this knot. Okay, then you are going to push it up a little bit to lock in the knot. Okay, and there's our second bead. Now, I did mine a little bit looser because I do have stuff moving around on here. I want that to be able to happen. Alright. And then we're going to continue on. So now, you just do this move over and over. Do you need to, do anything else special? No, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. Okay? So maybe I'll do, I could do 1 and tie a knot, or I could do like this number where I put a couple of beads. It really depends on how you feel in the moment. You do what you want to do. It's up to you. So there you go. Do you have to tie on every single one? No. You don't. I think I want to use a darker one though. Okay. So then we're just going to do the same thing. Just like that. Just like that. Yeah. And once you get going on this, these are really fun because you kind of get to just do whatever you want to do. I really enjoy that kind of thing. So now I'm going to put another, let me use this bead. Put another little grouping of charms. I like the look of squishing them in between these kind of jasper rondelles. Very cute. 1, 2. Okay. There we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. Now, I'm going to do a jasper and one of these blue guys. So I'm going a little faster now just because it, you know, I showed you guys the move. It's the same move over and over again. So I'm just going for it. Now here, do I want to do one of these little round guys, or do I want to put maybe I'll put this amber in the middle. Or do I want to put my strong in the middle? I think I'll do the amber. Now, let's say you were really liking this idea and you're just going for it. You could do a necklace, you know, a little charm necklace with all your little leftover little random charmies, or maybe you pick the charmies out and you know that they got a meaning for you, some kind of symbolism. Perhaps that's what you want. That's what you do. It's a good way to use up some of that stuff. So now, let's see, which one do I want to do? I think I want to do one of these round ones. I think I'm going to do the I am strong. I might have to flip that one over. I don't know if I like this as the front. Might have to flip that one over, but maybe it'll be fine. So I really like to do these when I'm like listening to books or doing my music. I can really get into kind of like a meditative situation with these guys, and it's really fun. So I've been making these for quite a while. I like to make them for friends and stuff, and then explain like what the charms mean, or you know, what they're supposed to symbolize. It's kind of fun. And I do like that you can use the Old Faithful clasp on these, because then it's almost kind of like a friendship bracelet. Like a, you know, remember when we would make the friendship bracelets out of string? But these are removable. Remember the other, back in the day? You know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, the friendship bracelets where you had to tie them on, you know? Not anymore. Not anymore. How cute is that? Oh, that's super cute. You know I love an ammonite. Love it. Now, I will say, if you're a person who gets like in a hurry, this is a project that might be a little bit problematic for you, because you have to really concentrate on making the knots. Because if you're not concentrating, you could mess up, and then you're probably gonna have to start over, you know, or try to save it by doing a double knot, like if you get some extra string or something. Now, if that were to happen, remember not to panic. Remember, we're not panickers. A lot of things you could do. You could use, like, say, get an excess amount of string for some reason. You could do, I like this little half red and half white one. Sorry, I was distracted. You could do, put a bead cover in place of a bead, right, to cover up that string. And then we're just going to call that a design choice. We're just going to call that a spirit bead, right? So that's an option. You can always redo on top a double knot should you need it. That type of thing. So remember not to panic, it's fine. I'm about to panic. I'm doing the wrong thing. As I was just saying, don't forget to focus on what you're doing. Nobody's surprised. One, two, through the loop, base string. I should make up a bunch of these for my website. They're so cute. And I really like making them a lot. I think people would enjoy kind of the weird quirkiness of them all, you know. It's my personal opinion. Maybe not. I don't know. Leave it down in the comments if you think that they'd be good to have on the website. Ooh. The first one I ever made of these, I made for my grandpa. Well, it wasn't for my grandpa. It was for me, but it was about my grandpa. When my grandpa was going through treatments for his cancer, and it was really helpful. The whole process of like picking out the things and buying the beads specific for healing and protection, and I think I had some obsidian on there, and just hunting down these different things. It was the whole process was very calming and made me feel like I was doing something, even though I wasn't really doing anything. But it made me feel like I was, which was helpful. I think I'm going to snag up one more bead out of here because I want to use it for my pattern I got going on. Now this one has a little bit different of a, this is my little protection shield. This one has a little bit different of a loop, so I'm going to see, I think if I put it on with this, it might get in the way, but I will see what it looks like. Not terrible. I think it'll be okay. All right. So let me see where we're at here. A little bit big for me, but that's okay. All right, so now it probably wouldn't have been if I would have just put it on the actual clasp, but here we are. mean, it's not actually really big, but I am a person who doesn't really like my bracelets to move around too much. So I will show you how we can fix that in the end. But if you are here, we're going to continue on. So I'm going to put on my jump ring, and just like before, I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. Now I am going to use my tweezer, and I'm going to come down right here, and I'm going to hold on to basically this knot that's already here. And I'm going to bring this down. And there's a lot of ways to finish these, but I'm going to push it into place. Okay. Oh. I pulled it before we were done. Remember not to panic. We are not panicky people. Get back into place where you're supposed to be here. Okay. So then once we're in place where it's supposed to be, how we're going to finish off, I'm just going to move that so it's not in the way. How I finish these off is I then basically do a half hitch knot right here. So to do that, you basically just create a circle. I'm just trying to show you. So here's your circle. You're going to come in from the bottom with your needle, pull that through, and you're creating a half hitch knot that is going to land in between your last charm and your jump ring. Okay, so you get this in place where you want it to be. I gotta tighten mine up because it loosened up there real quick, because this is one of the things that is going to then knot this in place. Okay, so then you kind of have your loop situation. So then I'm going to go again, and basically we're going to let this one land right under the other one, kind of creating a carousel type macrame over what we already have on there. And I literally just go until I hit the bead again. Like, we're working down now, so like until you get back to the bead, I just go some more. So if it takes 2 or 3, that's what I do. So when you make your loop, you gotta make sure you got this around your jump ring here. Okay, so that's gonna land in the right spot. And I hope you can see this, how it's kind of carouseling down, and I'm just letting them land right where the other one ended. So it kind of looks a little bit finished with those knots there. And then I keep going until I hit the bead, so it actually looks like I could probably do one more. And this is completely up to you. However you want to do it is up to you. So there we go. And I just do that almost like as a little decorative. You can see how it's kind of starting to spiral around the other cording that's already on there. So I kind of dig that look. One last one, just for good measure. Just want to make sure he ends up in the right spot. There we go. All right. So we are here. Now, we're going to get our super glue. While we still have the tail on, we're going to give this just a little smidge of super glue here. This is Loctite Gel Control. And I just do a little bit on the knot and then a little bit up kind of where we would tie the other knots at, just for safety. And then we're going to let that dry. Shouldn't take too long. Once it's dry, we're then going to cut it off with our cutter, and we will attach this on to the other side. Takes about 90 seconds, nothing crazy. Still a little wet, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up this jump ring. And I'm going to put the end on here. Okay. And it is still drying a little bit. Once it's 100% dry, I will take and sorry, let me get myself all arranged here so you can see. I can flip that one out if I want to. Once it's dry, I will take and maybe hit that with the lighter or the burner so that it's, you know, burned in to each other. So Ceylon is triple ply and it has nylon in it, so you can burn it into one another, so it'll melt into the next strand, which is lovely. We love that for us, especially if you're doing stuffy things with string. So here we go. Here we are. And that's what we end up with. Super cute, right? Where's my bracelet sizer? I keep misplacing my bracelet sizer. I don't know why. I don't know where it goes. It has a home around here somewhere, but I don't know why it keeps disappearing. It's gone. I thought maybe Shannon was using it or something to take, oh yeah, take measurements of things that are going up on the site maybe, but here it is. So now I can already tell you that this is going to be a little bit large for me because my wrist is small. But I'm going to show you, should you end up in this situation, what you can do to fix that. Okay. So here we have an 8. So this is an 8, right? Big for me, but might be good for someone else. Don't know. Situation there. So here's a couple of things you can do if you've got thus far and you're like, oh, it's too big. Okay, not a problem. What you can do, number one, first and foremost, is you can take this off and you can do a lobster claw. So now you can make it an adjustable size. Here's a lobster. Now this is a larger than average. Your average lobster claw is about 13 millimeters. This one is a 15. So one of the reasons I like to use these is because if you do end up in a situation like this, it's really easy to fix. Okay, you're just going to open this up. You're going to take off your Old Faithful clasp. You're going to put this back on and take this guy off. I'm going to leave this one on here. Now you could also put another charm on here if you want to. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. So then you could still utilize like this. So this is important, especially for people who are like selling things. Okay. So these are not adjustable. We have a way to make them adjustable by making little leather ends, but for the most part, if you're going to sell, it might be better for you to do one of these numbers, because now for me what I can do is I can put this on. Sorry, struggle's real. I just knocked my bead sizer over and my battery died. Alright, so down here I'm going to just open this up. I'll put this feather on there. Okay, so now I have this. Now let's say you were not really into this. You're like, this is not for me. Okay, not a problem. No problem. Let me get this off of here. Oh. Just next to that round bead. So here's what you're going to do. you're just going to take a jump ring, preferably an oval, a larger oval. And you could do one or two. We'll see what one's going to do for us. And so like I know that in order for this to fit me, I want it to be next to this blue bead on the top here. So I'm just going to wrangle this jump ring on there. And I'm going to go another one just because I wanted to have enough space. Okay, so now there we go. Now this is going to stretch out. Once you start to wear this, the string is going to give a little bit, not too terribly much, but a little bit where it's going to be not so stiff when it's hanging. Okay. We're looking for, here we have 6 3/4. So this is a little bit more my speed. Let's put that on. I just about dropped lapis all over my desk, you guys. Okay, so we're just going to open it. Hook on to this jump ring right here. Okay, and so now we just have this where it just looks like a tail. Okay, another thing you could do is if you're like, okay, but I don't really care for all that, you literally can cut it off. I'm not going to because I probably wear it like this, but you literally could find your next knot or wherever your knot is at, like this one right here, cut under the knot and just cut it off. Do you want to do that? I don't know if you do. I really wouldn't want to. You could. So I would prefer just to go like so, and no one's the wiser. That's not supposed to be like that, especially once this gets stretched out, like once it gets relaxed. Okay. Okay, so now another tip about relaxing is hang them up. So hang them up, spritz them with a little smidge of water, okay, and that's what you get. That's what you do. So there we go. So technically, if you wanted to, you could have 2 sizes for this. You could have this larger size, and you could have this smaller size. You could just leave that on there, right? There you go. So, although this is probably like not the best of situation, there's always ways to make it work. Okay, so we started with an Old Faithful, and now I'm over here with this guy. But that's fine. I mean, obviously you would want to measure to make sure that you're, you know, doing your best there and making the size that you want to make. But I really like the pattern. There you go. Super cute. Alright, so I'm going to wind up the next one and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not going to show it to you on camera, but I'll just show you what it looks like. And that'll be it for this project. I hope you're all having a lovely, spectacular, amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Another option is to punch a hole in your feather and turn it into an ankle bracelet, which is what I did.